Have you ever wondered if a sacred text could hold a secret message? Not in the words themselves, but hidden in the numbers? Well, today we're going to explore a pretty fascinating theory that says just that. We're diving deep into a numerical analysis of one single verse from the Quran. So let's just get right to it. The big question we're tackling is this. Could one sacred verse actually have a hidden mathematical code embedded within it? It's a wild idea for sure, and it's one that has sent some researchers down a really interesting rabbit hole. So we're going to break down a specific theory here. The basic idea is that some of the numerical patterns you can find in the Quran aren't just random chance. Nope. The theory says they are absolutely intentional, maybe even a form of divine design. And this whole thing, this entire theory, it all hinges on one single verse, Surah 15, Ayah 87. Everything we're about to unpack today starts right here. All right, so what does this key verse actually say? It reads, "And we have certainly given you 7 of the often repeated verses and the great Quran." Now pay close attention to those words, because they contain all the clues that kick off this entire investigation. Okay, so you heard that word in there, mathani. What does it mean? Well, it refers to the often repeated verses. And in Islamic tradition, these specific verses are seen as having some serious spiritual importance. The theory suggests the verse is basically pointing a finger at itself, telling us to look closer. So, right off the bat, we have the number 7. It's literally right there in the text. But get this, it goes deeper. In the original Arabic, the verse itself is made up of exactly 7 words. For the people who analyze this stuff, that's clue number 1, a very deliberate first layer of the pattern. But the theory doesn't stop with the words, not even close. It suggests there's a connection that goes beyond the text and into the physical layout of the book itself. And this is where things get really interesting. So we're shifting gears now. We're moving from what the verse says to where it's physically located in one particular printed version of the Quran. All of a sudden, the page numbers themselves become the next piece of this giant puzzle. Now, in this specific edition that was used for the analysis, the verse isn't just on one page. It's actually spread across 6 pages in a row, 262, 263, 264, 265, 266, and 267. Go ahead and keep those numbers in your head. And this brings us to a really simple question, but the answer is pivotal. It's just basic addition, but the result is the absolute core of this whole theory. So, any guesses what happens when you add up all those page numbers? The grand total is 1587. Okay, at first glance, it's just a number, right? But according to this theory, that number is anything but random. This is the moment the code supposedly starts to show itself. And here it is. This is the big reveal. Remember the verse's address? Surah 15, Ayah 87? Now look at the sum of the pages. 1587. You see it? 1587. The digits are identical. So you have to ask yourself, is that just a mind-blowing coincidence? Or is it the first real clue? But hold on, because that incredible parallel is just the beginning. The theory doesn't stop there. It claims there's an even deeper mathematical chain at play here, linking these numbers in ways that are way more complex and intricate. Okay, the next step involves a process called concatenation, which is really just a fancy way of saying they stick numbers together side by side. They take the surah number, 15, the ayah number, 87, and then they add a third number, 6, which represents a certain word's position in the verse. When you combine those, 15, 87, and 6, you get a new number, 15,866. And here's the kicker. Mathematically, that number is a perfect square. It's exactly 126 times 126. And from there, the theory just keeps branching out. They take that number, 126, and break it down into its factors, like 9 times 14. This brings the number 9 into the picture, which they then connect to other ideas, like the 99 beautiful names of Allah. Even that original number 7 gets woven back in through other, bigger calculations. It's like they're mapping out this complex web where everything is divinely connected. So we've seen the numbers and the calculations, but what's the point of all this? What's the proposed meaning behind these patterns? According to the folks who've laid all this out, what are we supposed to take away from it? Well, it really boils down to 3 big ideas. First, that number 7 is no accident. It's seen as a powerful symbol of divine order and perfection. Second, these patterns are there to really emphasize the spiritual importance of the mathani, those repeated verses. And third, and this is the big one, it suggests the greatness of the Quran isn't just in its message, but it's baked right into its very structure, its intricate numerical design. The final conclusion here is not wishy-washy at all. It states that these patterns are not a coincidence. The claim is, and this is a direct quote, that they are intentional manifestations of divine order and completeness. I mean, that is a powerful, definitive claim about the very nature of this sacred text. And really, that's what this all leaves us with. It's a fundamental question. Are we looking at a hidden divine pattern that was intentionally placed there for us to find? Or is the human brain just so wired to find patterns that we're seeing meaning in a remarkable coincidence? It's a fascinating question to think about.